Alrighty. Everything should be operational. Let me just make sure everything's working, but everything seems to be okay. No buttons I forgot to press this time round. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, today just more coastals, still waiting for the next major update. So until that hits, I think I'll just be sticking to coastals. This week we'll be doing some German coastals, because why not really? I've got a Schütze I still need to spade, as well as the other two 3.0s. And all my coastal trees, the Germans definitely need the most attention when it comes to stuff I still need to get. So for tonight, more coastals of the German variety. Do still have some boosters I should be using, so let's just do that. Coastals as well. Yes, it does. Alrighty, into the first match we go on Aleutian Islands. Not the greatest for a coastal lineup. Leather. But we'll take the Schütze up north. Probably want to get a long way around, really. This bird is still stock and it only has one turret, so I don't really want to get into the thick of it. Although it is a small match, why not? Now familiar names. I'm kind of curious what these two are going to spawn into, because for the moment it at least looks like a reserve destroyer and loader coastal match. Not quite sure what the Aquilone is again. It's either 3-3 or 3-7, but I can't remember. VS8 somewhere in front. It's really good for first target. Come on, walk out of the way. There we go. You need to be aware of the overheat on this gun, because it does become less accurate as it overheats. I'd also rather not have it jam up on me. There we go. PJ2 on B point. I can do something about that, hopefully. Do need to hit that bridge. There we go. There's an LPT boat. Couldn't get to the cap, but that's fine. We've gotten ourselves a few kills already.
Identifiziert. Boot.
That is a bit of a dangerous boat, but it's kind of far out, so not our immediate priority. Let's just look around, see if there's anything more dangerous. But I think that might become our priority target over there, or at least a few pot shots. Hello there, VS8. That is the danger of this boat. Only one gun. Luckily it repairs quickly. Pretty decent high velocity gun as well, so we can do these long range engagements without too much issue. Although the dispersion is a bit awkward as it overheats. See if we can get this K-class to sink. There we go. It's an AI, so it's fine if you just goes away. Hello there, Kenneth. So I'm liking this L70 Bofors at this BR. Very nice. Yeah, it is pretty potent because it's an L70 Bofors instead of the normal L60 that you usually see it around this battle rating. So, higher velocity, much faster rate of fire. The only downside is that it doesn't carry any AP rounds. That is genuinely the only downside to it. Yeah, took a bit of a big hit there. On that riverboat. I'm getting my buttons confused. I have lost my bridge, that's why I'm not slowing down. Okay. In this situation, I'd love a little bit of AP. Let's let the barrel cool down so we get more accuracy. There, Jeff. I need the rear of this vessel, but the gun accuracy is incredibly bad once it starts overheating. Oh, that's not good at all. Okay, Garland. I think just the AI gunners just shot me. The belts in the VS10, well, that's a good question because I'm about to use it. Let's see. I don't think I have all the belts yet, but definitely want to use the AP rounds. Also, it's very confusing, those two belts are named the exact same. But I would definitely stick with the more AP heavy belt. Oh, that's just opposite. I know of Navy Field, I've never had the pleasure of playing it. I do remember trying it years ago, but never really getting the hang of it. So I just didn't. I think by the time I was experimenting with stuff like Navy Field and some other small naval games, World of Warships came out. So that kind of just fit that... Having a Garland just sit in front of our spawn is not really optimal. Let's see if we can dislodge him. Okay, Matsu got sunk, that's good to know, because that's an anti-air destroyer. Garland is getting peppered by artillery. He's starting to move. I'm going to go into a little bit of a shallow dive. I need to be very careful because Garland's main guns do carry VT. That will be very, very dangerous, but I do want to get closer, guarantee the impact. What is my fuse set to 2 seconds? That's not optimal. Really shouldn't be any more than 1.5. But we get out of here before MTR shreds us. Good hit. And by the time I get back to base, it's game over. Bit of a shame I couldn't really show off the VS-10. No. But 2 seconds is a little bit long for a bomb if you want to achieve a mining effect. Because the bomb sinks a little bit too deep with that kind of fuse setting. For naval I usually do 1 to 1.5 seconds and nothing more. Did get some modification, there we go. Let's get FP next, and then probably... All these modifications are so expensive for the Schütze. You know what, I think Fire Division primary armor to make it even faster, and then go for VT fuse. There we go. Onto a match we go. There have been quite a few Amiens about, and that's been interesting to try and fight. I haven't seen that many recently. I saw quite a lot like 2 or 3 days ago. But luckily then I was playing with 4-0s. So it didn't really matter. Barangsea boats is nice. I usually go to this rock if I'm on this side of this of the map. I don't really want to first spawn VS-10 because it's my cheapest boat to spade. So I kind of just want to get on with the Schütze. But I'll definitely second spawn VS-10. And maybe if I get a better map, first spawn VS-10 to get the capture points. Okay, decent matchmaking. I know, I have played VS-10 quite a bit. It is not great for trying to duel coastal boats. It's decent for getting to caps quickly, it's decent for getting around areas. And maybe torpedoing an unsuspecting destroyer, but it's not that great against other coastals. Quite okay. Kind of hope the Amiens will be more aggressive, although it'll be fine behind. Yeah, I like sitting behind this rock because you have a decent view on both the C and B points whilst not being directly in front of their spawns. So you have the opportunity to just sit and wait. we do have a lich shield right there, so I think I don't have to worry about the C point. This boat is kind of slow to change its gears. It's also not that fast in reverse. You know. Yeah, the lich shield will have anything locked down over near the C point, I think. Oh, hello. Yeah, the accuracy is not great at range, or well, at temperature rather. Ooh, that is not a boat I want to see. Is it the... It is the Aconite. Pull it out. And just... Okay, Hostolemia. What we do first is knock out the main gun. Second, knock out the 37. Because when you knock out its ammo storage, it loses all ammo, making that gun completely harmless. Once it has to reload at least. And then you just keep shooting the guns, the bridge. If you have heavier guns, you can crew kill it, but I don't, so I can't. Not optimal K7, or K3 rather in this case. Shouldn't have pushed really. VS10 towards the A point. Let's see what happens. It's been a while, Panzerwaffles, and I don't immediately remember what battleship I recommended. Any tips for battleship play? Get AP first, get AP as quickly as possible. And then just try and kill whatever you can kill. If you do see a battleship you can kill, try and prioritize that if you're on a battleship yourself. Yeah, it's over here. Speculative torpedo, and we need to turn away. Actually, let's mark it, it's going there roughly. Problem with hydrofoils is they are absolutely not maneuverable. I really wish I had a smooth come right now. But we do not want to draw its attention, do not want to make it aware that we're here. Overheated one of the guns, that's fine. The Aconite seems to be going the same heading. So with a bit of luck, my torpedo might strike it. We need to get out of here quickly. Ah, yeah, the Maria is going to be a lot better because of its fire rate buff. Yeah, there's nothing really too much to say about battleship gameplay, just shoot stuff, kill stuff, really. The only thing I think I'll say about Maria is that you're not invincible. Many of the early battleships are not that great in terms of survivability. But it's no real difference in playing any other ship, really. Those are gonna hurt. I'm about to overheat all my guns. There, hit his gun, but he's still knocking out. Yes, that was not great. I find it to be really difficult to play well in that thing. Why do I have maximum ammo loaded? Hold on. Oh, this is a situation where the two almost exact same shells, isn't it? But one of them is a tracer shell? No, fragmentation incendiary. Let's swap you for that and go to minimum. See what happens. starting to get out of range. There's a Garland again. Dangerous. And of course that is where the Garland is. Swap to the 88s. And we shoot his main guns. Because that's like the one thing we can look out. Oh, we are doing crew damage to it. Should have to sink it. There we go. What is shooting in front of me? I don't know, really, I wouldn't really recommend SAP against enemy battleships. I really wouldn't. Maybe other early dreadnoughts, sure, but you really should be using AP against battleships. I mean, yeah, they might work. Then again, I haven't really played the Russian battleships at all recently. I just don't know. The SAP meta was years ago. It definitely isn't still a thing. So yeah, but if it works, it works. I'm not gonna say it can't work. I don't know. Personally, I don't think I've ever mained a SAP on a battleship. Great to see. That's going to kill me probably. Go for the ammo. Purely on accident, but I'll work with that. Shoot the front. If my 88s can actually hit it, I'll just go clean over. With front 88. I think I found myself a good boat to counter them, yes. These 88s do some fair damage. Our friendly Amia over there is capturing the B point. And our squad mate is capturing the A point. Perfect. I guess. I think the Russians are actually the only battleships I haven't played yet. Or not really. Oh, hello there, Garland. So again, we go for the guns. Shit, might just go for the crew kills. That seems to be working with these 88s. Seems to be working very well for these 88s. Yep, got some hits. I really wish that hit was with a HE shell, not one of the AP shells. Oh well, I'll take the assist. If I need that anti-air kill task done, I'll just play the Sata, really. I want to focus on that Sunderland now. Okay, stared directly into the sun, so I can't see where my tracers are going. That's fine. Let's bomb them into miss. That's game. Went surprisingly well. Another upgrade for the MZ1. This could probably do a smoke screen as well. I think my VS10 is pretty close to spaded as well. Vaguely. I almost actually got a resource bonus up. 3 RP short, of course. But yeah. We'll keep going. And see what kind of map we get now. Ireland Bay. This could be a pretty fun map of Schütze. Exactly, Ferdinand. Well, yeah. It wouldn't be if you weren't short 3 or 5 RP. I think you're right. That if you buy a modification with G, you don't have to buy the silver lines for it. Still not really worth it. And it's not like I'm short silver lines, where I kind of see that. Got 3 million laying around. Again, I'm not really short of golden eagles either, but you know well. I'm saving up for next update. I think I definitely should actually be going for mobility upgrades and so what I'm planning to do with my golden eagles is 1, get Yukikaze, 2, Ace Crew and or Talisman on Yamato. But I am going to get all the ships by just grinding them. Because that is just how I research ships. I don't usually buy the new stuff. Probably going to use, like, I bought a bunch of G to get Yamato on the dev server. As well as some of the new AA pieces. Just mess around with that. So yeah, I'm just going to use the G for just Yukikaze and then stuff for Yamato, but not Yamato itself. And I might as well just keep the G in reserve whenever I need to get to new battle pass. And oh boy, that's fun, isn't it? Okay, let's remove 37 or 2 if we can. Oh, you get there. I don't remember, but they are a bit more expensive, not extremely more expensive. They're still over 1 million SL. I think 1.1, 1.2 pop. I don't actually remember. Pricey, but then again, what do you expect for a new top tier? Horribly out of position, but I was not expecting 3 MES in that corner there. It's not really a great map then, is it? I would go the long way around the VS10. I mean, yeah, it isn't, but how do I say this properly? I have a lot of high-tier ships to be getting recently, and the cost is noticeable if you're buying nothing but high-tier stuff. I think by the time I get to the A point it won't matter anymore, but no well. C point is being, I think, attacked by destroyers? No, that's not a 40. What is that? That's a destroyer reversing. That explains it. Yeah, I don't really... I'm never really worried for silver lines. If I really need some, I'll just play Frank Knox. Also, that's going up in BR next update, so that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a very... well, all my lineups will have to be rethought for Naval. Except for my coastal ones, luckily. Like all my destroyers, all my cruisers, all my battleship lineups have to be reorganized. I don't know. I've never really used the 288. I don't have the 288, actually. So I don't know if that's an SL printer or not. So we are going to stay fast and just recon and see what's out there first before we commit to a certain attack plan. Should be on the screen for too long. Of course, the second I turn away. Lubeck, really? I found Lubeck to be kind of a special ship, so I don't really use it that often. Arguably, I could be using it now instead of this lineup to grind my Germans, but it doesn't really sit right with me. There's no air right in front of my face. Yeah, this match is not going well for us. I think we just got outnumbered in survival and stuff. I'll take the assist. That is a wreck. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't really find Lubeck to be that good of a frigate. I've played a little bit, but just there's 100. They're not great at long range. They're, I think, the only large caliber gun that actually suffers from overheat accuracy loss. And it's just not great. Just to mark commence. And ammunition exploded. That's me out, isn't it? I did get a kill, luckily. Well, let's try and find a destroyer. Hold on. Refuse delay. A destroyer over there. So Frenzy just detonated. I don't know if that's a rack, so I don't want to bomb that. That seems like a good target. Those are good targets, really. A lot of them are difficult to reach places. Okay, the P3 just went for that MER, that's nice. I don't know what that is, that's probably not an MER as well, he's stationary. Although the P3 might be coming back around for him. He says that stationary MER is a perfect target for altitude bomb drop. There's an MER there as well. It's actually a good target, good shout. The next event is going to be a ship, but it's only going to be in August. There's going to be like a month break before we get the next event. There's absolutely no idea what it's going to be. I've seen a lot of copium about it being one of the new top tier battleships basically, but that's just not going to happen. I missed because it thought he was going to stay stationary. And did no damage. Lovely. With Sunkware friendlies, luckily. 56 of all things.
Destroy the target.
Yeah, I haven't heard any hints or any possible clues as to what the next event of the ship could be. So we just have to wait and find out. Kind of surprised my rudder is still there, seeing that impact. I'm not complaining. The thing is, like, I don't see it being the Nagato. And this might be some copium on my end. But I wouldn't want to see Nagato as an event or premium because it is the only Japanese 16-inch armed ship that could have World War II anti-air. So I really would not want to see that as an event or a premium. It's also something a lot of people have been speculating about. What will be the premiums for the other nations? The rank 7 premiums? I genuinely have no idea. Really didn't have a good performance in my boats as much. Need to be a little bit less aggressive with my VS10. It's hard to do in that boat. Yeah, but the kind of problem I have now with stuff like the North Carolina, South Dakota, and any other of the on par battleships with the current top tiers, is that if one nation gets another one, it'll be immediately better than all the others because it has a more balanced or a better backup. Although you could argue that if we were to get an 8.0 or an 8.3 event ship, it would be fairer because the others only have 8.7s. Because the others already have 8.7s, I should say. I don't know. Weird. You know, the other bet it could be it's just not a battleship. It could be a cruiser or a destroyer again. I will keep hoping for a Ryodo. But I think I can keep hoping for that. Well, the thing is, right, for the 8.0s, currently we have 3 of them. Actually, no, 4, right? So Roma is becoming an 8.0, Vanguard is 8.0, and Mutsu and Amagi are moving up to 8.0. As for the other nations, that's kind of the difficult part of battleships now. That's all. We have all of the battleships. So either... It would be really silly if they added another Japanese event ship like the Tosa. Because that could be 8.0, but it would be another Japanese event battleship. It'd be wild. And they kind of ran out of ships for Germany. The only battleship they have left is Tirpitz, if you don't want to go into paper ones. Well, quote-unquote paper battleships. Although you could maybe do a World War I battleship again, like the König, I think, is like a battleship class Germany doesn't have yet. But again, they also have plenty of, well, they have, you know, event battleships. Italy hasn't had an event ship in a long time, an event blue water ship. Actually, have they ever had an event blue water ship that isn't a destroyer? I don't think the König class already... The Kaiser is, but not the König to my knowledge. I don't know if those are the same class of ship. I really don't know. To my knowledge, there is no... no König. Frenzy is going to do my target. Again, I don't really know if it's appropriate to give one nation a second top-tier battleship in front of everybody else. But it's not something unheard of, obviously, because Japan got the first 14-inch without any competition for a long time. But it's usually when they give nations more battleships, they're given in pairs. So it's not just one nation getting more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Ooh, that's a direct hit. Perfect. I'm actually kind of hoping it isn't a battleship this time around. Just because we've been having nothing. We've been having nothing but event battleships, and they're kind of dull. Although BR decompression means that their matchmaking is going to be very different as they have been. But I think for the past year, a lot of the blue water event ships were just 7.0 battleships, and that gets a little bit lame after a while. I do need to remember, Wichita is like a... Isn't it a Brooklyn hull, but with Baltimore turrets? Or something like that. That's what I thought. Yeah, the Atagos would be nice as well. I think... I didn't actually notice, but apparently the Atagos got a major refit to their superstructure, and early on they were really big superstructures. They're kind of cool to see. And again, I'd like to see any and all Japanese cruisers, really. Actually, no. Now that I remember, there is something in the files next update that is a bit weird, and we haven't gotten an explanation for it. And that is a 3D decoration Kai-10 torpedo. Well, manned torpedo. And we don't know what it's for. So if I can don the tinfoil hat once again, we might see Kitakami. We might. I wouldn't bet on it, but if I can don the tinfoil hat with a Japanese bias, we might. Actually, I need to see if I still have that picture of that model. Somewhere in here. Yep, there it is. Yeah, there is just a 3D decoration for a Kai-10 torpedo, and it's nobody really knows why. Okay, there we go, the smoke screen unlocked. I think... Then again, it was years ago when Gaijin mentioned it, but I think they made a pretty clear line that they never want to use those kind of manned weapons as actual playable vehicles. That was like a comment they made years ago. If that changed, who knows. Yeah, Kitakami would be in the torpedo cruiser form, would be really, really strange. I'm actually kind of a bigger fan of the... Ooh, new decal, nice. The thing is, Kitakami isn't the only torpedo cruiser. I think there was another of the class called Oi, which I find really funny because the ship name is literally just 2 letters. And I would love to have that instead. I mean, yeah, Phoenix, but it's kind of different to use a weapon whose sole purpose would be to kamikaze, and I don't know. It'd be a bit odd. I think the one problem you'd have with Kitakami is that its effectiveness in realistic battles and arcade battles would be wildly different. Okay, this is actually a decent map for VS10 to rush to the sea point. So I'll do that. I'll just do that. With a bit of luck, it's down there, so you don't have to fight destroyers. With just a bit of luck, and it might be. So we might get some good VS10 shenanigans going on. I don't know. I don't really know about mini-subs, because they only carry like 2 torpedoes at best. And that kind of sounds really painful. To play a ship with only 2 torpedoes? Okay, so somebody spawned out there, but is it a destroyer? Oh well, we'll try our shenanigans anyways. The Oi and Kitakami kept 4, but a broadside of 3. So they kept the 2 in the 2 in the front, and then 1 on either side of the bridge. So yeah, it's a broadside of 3 guns still, but yeah. This is probably the one and the only thing the VS10 is pretty good at, and that is just rushing to far out cap points. And that is if we are not running into an enemy destroyer. So I'm going to slow down for a peek around this corner. And just check if there's a destroyer first. Let's go a bit wider than that. It's wider really. Capture point right there, so we should be good. Need to be careful not to get too close to the island, because I am a hydrofoil, so I do have long bits underwater. It can get stuck. That's where yet. Bit further.
Board, backboard, 12,000 meters.
Go ahead, and we'll just motor on back to B point.
Allied forces have captured that zone.
That guy is legitimately out of range, so that's on. Only having a 2.25 kilometer maximum range on these guns is not great. Actually try and engage from further. But you can just see the shells despawn before they hit. Yep, that actually gets some hits. Stay out of danger. Because I am losing a gunfight at that range against the Bofors. I just am. Let's drop the Marty there. Ouch, that was the main gun of that guy. Yep. Getting shot by the air behind me. A rare gun kill. Okay, he got detonated. I'm fine with that. I should have gone for a detonation myself because that thing actually has really exposed ammo racks. I just completely forgot about them. Don't want to look onto the aircraft through mountains, thank you. My guns don't have the range anyways. Okay. Asago, that's... Yeah, LCS is one of the ships that's kind of matchmaking dependent. You have an incredible amount of firepower with 4 Bofors, but you just can't really stick your neck out there. You don't want to be in the middle of the fight, you're not that tanky. So you want to basically position yourself in a spot where you can use your guns, but you're not the center of attention. It's been a while since I've used Asago myself. I've used LCS recently. Asago is a little bit different. Yeah, it really does. But that's somebody captured the sequence behind them. And I didn't notice. Time to turn around again. It is a destroyer. Yep, it's Clemson.
We no longer have advantage.
He's going the long route, so I'll just use the islands as cover. And that is not optimal. I need to stay on the B point. Because else it'll get decapped. Didn't want to lock onto him, I really want to lock onto the guy that's behind this rock. Gun marketing was off. Really close to getting us down. Could just bomb the Clemson, but I don't think that's necessary. So let's use some of our remaining time in the boat instead. That's for everything. That's a lot of boats. This thing can ammo rack, good to know.
Boot.
But it really struggles against these Russian armored riverboats. Because again, this thing only carries HE. So you do need to pick your fights a bit.
Ziel identifiziert. Boot. Maschine. 1/3 Fahrt voraus.
Can't quite get the ammo rack reliably. So I need to let the gun cool down because my accuracy is going down. Repair your spot at the moment. And I'm not going to survive, am I? Actually, am I not panning this bridge? It's a bit shocking. Let's try some more boat. But surprised that it wasn't panning the bridge of the 1204. Luckily not the 12 for 12. There's all targets, please. There we go. That's never a great sight. We'll just one leaving. Especially when you only have 3 spawns and usually quite a few backups. But oh well. We did what we could.
Boot, voraus! 1000 Meter!
Ziel identifiziert. Boot.
We don't have the advantage anymore.
Maschinen.
88 went somewhere.
Rudergänger hart Steuerbord.
Jawohl, Ruder hart Steuerbord. Zerstörer! 4000 Meter!
Auf Gefechtsstationen. Feind gesichtet.
And it's gonna be game over soon. There we go.
Rückzug. Schadensberichte ans Hauptquartier senden.
Still a decent chunk of RP, so I can't complain. And let's keep going. Yep, I think I will say though, out of all the coastal trees I've grinded, the Germans are probably my least favorite. Because just how awkward their ships tend to be. If I didn't have to spade the VS-10, I'd probably replace it with a V990 in this lineup actually. Although V990 isn't a rank 4, but doesn't really matter much. Ireland Bay again. Not really. I think those are fine as they are. We really don't need anti-ship missiles.
Schiff Segler machen. Kollisionsgefahr. Maschinen äußerste Fahrt voraus. Rudergänger, Hard Backbord.
So I do need to read a bit. I need to read up on access sets and how they actually work, how fast they are, what their payload is. And I'm getting turned around. Yeah, sometimes. There we go. I'm actually curious if it would be better or worse if they were self-guided versus manual guided. I don't think so, is the thing. Because the thing is, right, if you gave them their missiles, they would not stay at their same BR. They just wouldn't. So, no matter what BR you put them at, they'll be effective enough against cruisers. And very effective against destroyers.
Identifiziert. Boot.
I don't really want to push the B point. Because I think I'll just be out in the open at a very bad timing if that happens.
Auf Gefechtsstationen. Feind gesichtet.
So we'll just fight around the B point really. There's the exact thing I was talking about. I didn't slow down enough. Get rid of your big gun. Get rid of your small gun. Just be gone. Please be gone.
Ziel identifiziert. Nachtschiff.
Get rid of big gun. Get rid of small gun. And we back off.
Maschinen. Äußerste Fahrt voraus.
Ooh, big gun is turning around, big gun is turning around. Nope. And this is just what you do with an army, yeah? Shoot your turrets over and over again. And eventually you kill them. Also just showing the very tip of my boat at the moment. And I think the Amiya still has a bug where if you shoot the secondary turret and the ammo dump below it just loses all ammunition to that secondary gun.
Maschinen. Voller Kraft. Maschinen. Stopp.
Come on. Look at the edge of this island. Amiya is hiding, so I think I shall
Hard. Steuerbord.
go in, because I don't want to be in the fight line of that destroyer, that's for sure.
Ziel identifiziert. Zerstörer.
Frachtschiff. Backbord. 1000 Meter. Jawohl, Ruderwechsel.
Allied forces have captured the zone. Our victory is near.
I haven't seen too many coastals yet, so that's a bit of a shame. I don't think I can actually pen that thing, can I? Well, it's unarmored sections, sure. Oh, hello VS-10. Are you gonna keep going? Are you gonna keep going?
Backbord.
Jawohl, Ruderhard Backbord.
There goes my one turret.
Auf Station. Ruder mit Schiff.
There are multiple VS-10s. can't hit the compartment I wanted to hit. Cringe, at some point you'll have to be able to manage to tell the difference between rank and battle rating. Because rank genuinely does not matter when it comes to battle rating. It is only an economic factor and not a balance factor. BR is, obviously. But yeah. The weird part, I think, about how these ships are balanced, especially the coastals with blue water damage models, is that the people who play them, the vast majority of people who play them, just don't know how to play the game yet. So they'll play a flower, sail out right out in the open and get dunked on. And then every now and then you'll have a competent player going back to those coastals and doing what they do best. Shouldn't go through this VS stance got sunk. Looks like it. I don't know if you've recently played the flower class. They can get countered. If people know what they're doing, you just kill a flower. It's not that hard to just take away their guns and then ammo rack them, if you have a potent enough gun. So the thought of those things facing 1.3 vessels is really criminal. You could probably push up to 3.0 and 3.3 as well. It won't really affect anything. So you might want to make your main gun a bit more accurate if you're doing custom battle rating. Because that 4-inch gun is not great. That sounded a bit too much like a broken record, but a rank 4 boat does come with rank 4 rewards. So, and if anything, if you want to blame certain boats being rank 4 and 5, you can blame the naval split, because that's what that split did. Although it didn't universally increase the cost. It has 3-pounders? 2-pounders extra? That's it, compared to the normal flower. That is an interesting thought experiment, to just think what top there would have been if they truly went coastals only. It would have been a very different game, I think, if they really went for coastals only. Also, a big problem with a lot of these big coastals being so annoying for the battle rating and rank is just the fact that they have a blue water damage model. Just give them a coastal damage model, it's fine. Nope, for some reason that is not possible. Wait, really. This game is largely over. Snipe some destroyers before it ends. Okay, that comes to the right inside. Ooh, oh, a bit too high. And a bit too low because it pulled up. But I'm not really sure that's voluntary anymore.
Ruder, Tag, Backbord.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Maschinen, stopp!
Yeah, now we basically wait for the game to end. So there's still a lot of them left. Fair few at least.
Frachtschiff! Backbord! 1000 Meter!
Feind vernichtet. Kurs auf die Basis.
They almost got the special task done as well. What's the... And that should be pretty easy to do now that I'm in a squad. Perfect. We just have to win. How hard can it be? One thing that does confuse me about some of these German coastals is that some of them have costs which do not fit their rank. Like for example, Schütze is... It's 105 crew train, it's 87, 87, 72. Okay, it is in line with these later ones, but Bernau, 185, is the same cost as the Albatros, which is wild. And sadly enough, I believe that the modifications actually reflect that. 188 is actually not that much more expensive than Schütze, is it? No, it isn't. Could have sworn Schütze wasn't that expensive to research. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to spading Bernau either. I've seen a few in actual battles already, and it just never really performed well. Speaking of performing well, though, one of my favorite maps. Let's see if I can get into a good spot with Schütze.
Alle Mann auf Gefechtsstation.
Spawn is not optimal. We'll just go on the wide flank, I guess. Just notice that all the ammo is stored on the deck. On the other hand, there's no ammo in the hull. That's not something people can snipe, but just a big HE shell near the front gun will mean it go up. So let's hope that doesn't happen.
Bord! Backbord! 2000 Meter!
Auf Gefechtsstationen. Feind gesichtet.
Volltreffer! Feindliches Schiff brennt!
Maschine. Volle Kraft zurück.
Those are some low BR curses for this match. I'm not going to complain about that.
Das Feuer liegt deckend!
That's a lot of 20 mils coming this way. Call it out. 'Cause it seems like he's going to be waiting in ambush for somebody. ASAP. Really ASAP. And I couldn't. BS10 to A, maybe? Aren't any destroyers about? Never mind.
Bruder, Mitschiff.
We can try. We can try anyways. There's 2 Clemsons, okay.
Ziel identifiziert. Rot.
You say that, Grange, you say that until they'll add missile ships to the coastal tree. And then we'll solve. Or submarines. I still think that submarines would fit best in the coastal tree. We'll have to see when they come here, I guess. Also, that Dark Aggressor gonna get to the cap way before I get there, so... wasted effort. I hate how Hydra falls turn. I think my target will be that guy. He seems to not really be moving forward that much. I think he's just sitting in spawn going back and forth. So I want you to torpedo ahead. And if it misses, it misses.
Ziel identifiziert. Rot.
Oh, that's a low health. That's a fortune. Not that my guns can do much to it at range. Oh, what is my pen at like 2 kilometers? 15 mils. That's flap on.
Schüsse liegen im Ziel!
Untergänger. Hart. Backbord.
I think I have a good chance of torpedoing this guy. Of course, there's an R-boat right there. Just going to tear him to shreds because I don't have the firepower to do anything in return. But I did get a torpedo killing the Akonite at least. You know what, let's bomb one of those. That is the wrong bomber. I want to just select my own one. Well, Harper bombing a Clemson then, I guess.
The enemy's getting closer to victory.
Why is that even an option when you have your own planes in a lineup? Look, there's only just 2 Clemsons, so they're not the heaviest anti-air threats. Station Unit 1 is an attractive target. Let's actually drop
We've captured
groups of 4. So I have 2 decent runs. Is stationary, so we should be be able to get a decent bomber in it, even at altitude. Circle around for the other Clemson. Some hits, not enough to finish him off. We'll use our last 2 bombs for that, I guess. Decent hits again. Come on. Lost all control apparently. I think I'm just flat spinning from loss of lift in that wing. Right, okay. If only I didn't actually select the wrong plane. Might have been able to do more. But shit happens, I guess.
Kollisionsgefahr! Bruder, Steuerbord!
Jawohl, Steuerbord, Steuer. Bord. Backbord. 2000 Meter.
Auf Gefechtsstationen! Feind gesichtet!
We're ahead of the enemy.
Bruder, Backbord!
Jawohl, Backbord, Steuer.
It actually hit them pretty good, but just nowhere near enough damage. Looks like an IL-2.
Maschinen, Schrotmittelfahrt voraus! Ziel identifiziert! Zerstörer!
My 88s have the range. Can try.
Maschinen, stopp!
Bord. Voraus. 1000 Meter.
Übergänger, Rad, Backbord!
We're already sinking.
Identifiziert! Zerstörer!
I'm not even gonna try. Let's just be more aware of my immediate surroundings rather than destroy 4 kilometers away.
4000 Meter.
Bruder, Mitschiff!
Jawohl, Ruder mit Schiff.
I get the feeling that not much else is going to be happening this match by the time it ends.
Just keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Bord. Voraus. 1000 Meter.
Clemson got quite damaged whilst I wasn't looking. Where are you?
Somebody attack him!
Right there.
Bord. 1000 Meter.
Bruder, Steuerbord!
Jawohl, Steuerbord, Steuer.
Is he actually going to try and look for a fight before the match ends? Who knows?
Maschinen, volle Fahrt zurück!
Backbord. 3000 Meter.
Yep, somebody else already got him.
Bruder, Rad, Backbord!
Yeah, it's going. A bit of a slow one. to get a special task done. That is nice. $41 RP on that one this time. If I actually just did anything else that match other than just spawn in, would have actually gotten that module. But oh well. Let's see if we can get another special task. Let's see how far we can take that one. And just go at it again. Lucian Islands again. Did actually have a decent amount of success with the Schütze last time around in this map. Let's see if we can replicate that. I'm suspecting it'll come out next week. I'm not placing any bets on it. It does mean that I really have to work on the video for this current update summary. But that's going to be very confusing when I'm going to release that closer an update, I think. But it's in the plans for tomorrow. And some other chores I need to do around the house. Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem at the moment. I will say the grind has improved a lot now that the bots give the same rewards as players. That really help a lot, but it is still slow. Much slower than Blue Water is. Ouch, ouch, ouch. What are you? And why are you shooting me? Please cease. That would explain it. And LCS would explain that, that firepower. Let the barrel cool down so I can actually hit where I want to hit. Or just stop hitting them entirely. Also a possibility. Go. At least one kill. Just a little bit more damage is all I need to do against that thing. There we go. It should be sinking. Perfectly. Couldn't quite finish off the PT-200, but that's fine. If it doesn't knock out my gun, that is. Oh, hello there, player Fairmount. Okay. Wasn't expecting to detonate him, but I'll take those.
Das Feuer liegt decken! Ziel bekommen!
Okay, there's a lot of people shooting at me now. This walk is not as safe as I thought it would be.
Identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
Feuer! 240! 2000 Meter!
And I should have remembered that this thing does not like backing up.
Kritischer Schaden!
Bruder Mitschiff.
Jawohl, Bruder Bitschiff.
Feindtreffer!
I should be sinking now, yep.
Feind kränkt und verliert an Fahrt! Kollisionsgefahr!
Always try and steal the kill, as you could say. There we go. Alright, there's the German destroyers on sale, aren't there?
Brudergänger. Hahn. Steuerbord.
I'm not gonna get any of them because I think they're a bit kind of mediocre and probably quite expensive because they're the old close-baited vessel ships, aren't they?
Bruder. Steuerbord. Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
I can't wait until this battle pass and all the tasks are over because the MEA is getting a little bit old after seeing half a dozen of them each match. Oh, I think I'm gonna fight this T-22. Okay, that's just a normal tactical destroyer. And I am most certainly going to regret this decision, but in for a penny, in for a pound. As I think the saying goes.
Feuer liegt decken! Kritischer Schaden!
Bruder. Hahn. Backbord.
Get those torpedo tubes out of my face.
Bruder. Backbord.
Wirkungstreffer!
He does not know how to properly correct his aim adjustment, so that's good for me. And when I run aground, that's also fine. We are in a duel to the death with this destroyer. He's launching torpedoes. He's been torpedoed. I managed to crew kill him just before the torpedoes, and I'm actually not fast enough to approach his torpedoes in reverse, am I? Not that it matters. Not that it matters. I think I 100% would have taken one of those torpedoes. VS-10, I guess. Let's see how far we can get.
Maschinen. Äußerste Fahrt voraus.
This time I don't have a
Gefecht.
G-class just staring me in the face.
Ziel identifiziert. Zerstörer. Bruder Backbord. Ziel identifiziert. Zerstörer.
Ziel zerstört!
Okay, that's a kill I'll take.
Feind getroffen!
That's good escape. Let's get closer. Let's get closer to them, yeah. It's getting slow. That is an AI in front of him, so don't be too worried about friendly firing with artillery. River boat on the B point. It is not a human, so we're fine in that regard. Fire torpedoes. Torpedo away. Torpedo looks good. Torpedo looks good. It hit, but not in the way I'd like it. Knock at the turrets. Knock at the turrets. And not be able to turn because hydrofoil. Really hate how they do hydrofoil mobility in this game. Second torpedo away. Knock out the bridge. Knock out the bridge. Knock out the 37. He's turning. Torpedo is still on course. Torpedo still looks good. And there we go. Oh, worth it. And now we'll just decap the... Oh, hello. Cheeky little LS3. Yeah, I probably should do that as well, because when it is out of the water, it just does not like to turn. I just don't really like the VS-10 to begin with. I just think it's an incredibly awkward boat. Shell, that's kind of scary. Managed to read all my guns. There's one enemy over there, but I guess it's already been sunk. Don't know where the LS3 went. No idea where it went. And that's going to come back to bite me, I think. Shouldn't overheat my guns. Should not overheat my guns. LS3 has been sunk. I just saw it in the kill feed. French coast over there looking for a fight. Also, these 15s are pretty good at dealing with other coastals, if you can actually hit them. Ooh, now we're in a bit of an awkward spot. I think I'll use the MZ1 just to deliver firepower. I was thinking of taking the backup VS-10, but I just didn't think I'll survive long enough to get to the airpoint. It's sunk. You seeing 2 aircraft up? I am. I really like seeing ghost shells on these 88s. I really do. I'm one hit away from death. Which a sniping AFD from their spawn can definitely do. And then we're gonna get high altitude bombed by Is it carrying a Fritz axe? Kinda looks like a Fritz axe on the bottom of that thing. Yeah. Granted, there's on 5% crew, that's good enough, I guess. Sadly, there's going to be another defeat. Phoenix is a bit overwhelmed by the looks of it. There's now a destroyer right before spawn. He will be our prime target. See where exactly it was going through all that funnel smoke. I think it should be it. Bit too far ahead, okay. Not great. Hopefully it's over in that direction. This is a pretty fun frigate. Asago is a bit more difficult. Also fights behind me apparently. He did manage to get his bombs off, that's good to see. Yeah, sadly this is going to be a defeat. So we just really need to work that VS10 out of this line, just not quite potent enough. Also the V990 wouldn't be a worthwhile replacement, would it? Go. Yeah, I think V990 is better for the same job that the VS10 does. The problem is, when you're playing actual coastals at 3.0, neither of them are good. You need an actual gunboat, and I think the S147 might be a better option. Or even better, the S701, the premium one. This one doesn't require winds, that's good. Probably should just go with my armament targeting. VS10, the other two mods don't really matter. Then we'll go for rangefinder. And Schütze still has quite a way to go. Phoenix is going, and that's more than fine. I'll continue on my own. And then, yeah, 701 would probably be a very nice replacement for VS10. It has a better armament. But I'll need to spade VS10 first before I replace it. I think, am I out of daily? Yeah, I am. Out of daily boosts. I don't mind the AFD1. I've already spaded it. The problem I have with the AFDs is they're just too slow. They just don't get where I need them to get fast enough. Illusion again. You know what, let's first spawn the VS10 and just try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. And second spawn the shits up north.
Alle Mann auf Gefechtsstation.
Ooh, I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing a Harukaze. That's a 4-0 if I'm not mistaken. That's a full up tier for us. A very destroyer heavy matchmaker as well. Could be good, it could be bad. This 4-0, there's not too many dangerous coasters at 4.0. Okay. Okay. How do I deal with that? I survive? No, I'm flooding. Oh, I'm not flooding that. I can't shoot back at him because I don't have the range. Oh, okay. That is the one 4.0 coastal I didn't remember. And now firmly do remember again. And that basically summarizes what I don't like about the VS10. You don't have the gun range, you don't have the mobility. Well, maneuverability. You have the mobility, the maneuverability. Again, I don't think many coasters could have dealt with a missile straight to the face. I am very tempted to just play a different BR for one match. And maybe work on those anti-air closer to Zeta. Because these are not fun matches at these maps. Just not fun at all. We have another us. I'm kind of wondering if maybe our destroyers will actually be able to push through if they're that heavy in their coastal lineup. At least compared to our team. There's of course two Amiens moving up together again.
Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff. Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
Volltreffer! Schüsse liegen im Ziel.
Ziel
There's an Amiens
identifiziert.
there, there's D14 over there. Okay.
2000 Meter. Enemy forces have captured the zone. Feind getroffen. Ziel bekämpft.
I'll take a free kill whenever I see one.
Gegner getroffen.
Ziel
Apparently I wasn't
identifiziert.
locked onto the ship. Okay.
Feinde.
I was wondering why I wasn't seeing the hit cam.
2000 Meter. Feind drängt und verliert an Fahrt. Das Feuer liegt deckend.
Rudergänger an Steuerbord.
Hey, that's probably going to be another Amiens.
Schüsse liegen im Ziel.
Why am I seeing another missile? Where did he reload his missiles? Because I assumed he got 2 more kills after sinking me with 2 of them. I assumed both of those were missile kills.
Treffer.
But I guess it could not have been.
Direkter Treffer.
There goes another missile. It should be him out of missiles. Because I've visually seen him fire 4 and he's not on a cap. And Yaz regaining ammunition in that 37 because he's on a cap, so yeah, should have seen that one coming. I really should have.
Ziel getroffen.
And he can repair his turrets much quicker if he's on a cap. That's another missile. Where is he reloading his missiles? Where is he reloading his missiles? Because that Douglas only has 4. Did he J out? He did. He did J out. He did get sunk once, okay. And yeah, he J'd out again.
Granaten liegen im Ziel.
Wild, okay.
Ziel verschlagen.
Schadenskontrolle an Reparaturtrupps. Abteilung Lenzen. Schadenskontrolle an Reparaturtrupps. Wassereinbruch stoppen.
Büron beschädigt.
That is only 1. I'm mistaken with something. Come on, where am I looking? And he's been sunk once there. Then we saw him J out on the last one as well. I'm very confused. Oh look, it's an on the air. Who would have thought? Ew, I mean, same two as shooting it earlier. I'm just I can't kill this when you're on a cap. Of course, it was great. Burn.
Abteilung Lenzen. Schadensabwehrtrupps auf
So
Station.
be it, I guess.
Gefährliche Unschießen voraus.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Oder Mitschiff.
Bruder Bitschiff.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Gefährliche Unschießen voraus.
Maschinen, stopp! Rudergänger, Hahn, Backbord.
Kritische Schaden. Schadensabwehrtrupp zum Schadensbereit.
Ziel identifiziert. Boot.
Feuer. 100. 1000 Meter.
There's another
Feindliches Schiff gesunken.
Douglas.
Granaten liegen im Ziel.
Ziel identifiziert. Boot.
There he goes. That's the second death.
140. 1000 Meter.
Ruder, Backbord.
Das Feuer liegt
Well, hello there.
Ziel identifiziert. Boot.
No? Stay away with this 47 of yours. Or 40, my lord. The thing is, I have absolutely no hope of killing anything in the hull of that thing. And I'll just knock my crew out.
Alle Mann von Bord.
Is that one it is?
Alle Mann von Bord. Oder Gänger. Hahn, Backbord.
Das Feuer liegt decken!
Ziel identifiziert.
Heilung! 100.
Auf Gefechtsstationen. Feind gesichtet. Ruder, Mitschiff.
I think we'll just try and go up north as well. Sneak behind the A point like that. think that shell just went through my ship. Okay. There's an enemy in front of me as well, is there? Guess I should be able to sink this one with a bit of luck. There we go. Now I've got to deal with the stuff behind me. Quite plan why did I get a critical hit on? They're going over at least.
Bruder Mitschiff.
Jawohl, Bruder Mitchell.
Flugzeug bekämpft!
Reparaturdruck mit
I would have not been the happiest of people, in person. Not the happiest of people if that thing actually hit me directly with a 1,000-pounders. But we're still alive. Somehow. Our destroyers don't seem to be having the best of times either, although they are starting to thin out the herd, I think. The horde, rather. And there's still quite a few enemies that haven't been sunk yet.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
There's definitely something over near the A point. At the NTR. But we should be able to deal with it.
Patrouillen dort. 6.000 Meter.
Don't really care much about a PT boat call out from 6 kilometers away.
Jawohl, Steuerbord steuern.
That is practically where the sea point is, so. Yep. That is one of the guys that haven't been sunk yet, I think. We're not just not seeing that name anymore, and we're just looking over it. There it is. It hasn't been sunk yet. I think that's one of the MES near the A point. There it is. It's one of them.
Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
Does it actually call them cargo ships? It identifies a MES. I noticed that. I want to hit that 37, there we go, kind of. Because he's angled incredibly poorly for me to hit him. Where it counts. There we go.
Bruder
Kinda losing the sea point, but I think they're still fighting over that, so it should be fine.
Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
They do indeed call it a cargo ship when they identify an Amiens. That's kind of funny.
Kollision vorbereitet.
Frachtschiff. Voraus. 3000 Meter.
Well, I'm not entirely sure if they're calling it a Prachtship or a Slachtschip. I think both are appropriate for that kind of ship. Well, jokingly, of course.
Feind hat Startseite und verliert an Fahrt.
Should be able to sneak into the cap for at least some points. Hopefully. Here the VLT2 doesn't just take all of it. Very well might. So there's the other one.
Gegner getroffen.
Maschinen. Ein Drittel Fahrt voraus.
Frachtschiff. 2000 Meter.
Feind ausgeschaltet.
Ziel identifiziert. Frachtschiff.
Feinde. Vorlage. 1000 Meter. Feind getroffen.
Ruder, Fahrt, Backbord.
Wirkungstreffer.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
Yeah, I'm at least happy that this thing is proving quite effective at taking out these Amiens. I think that one's coming in for a vengeance, or with a vengeance rather. The 37s and 20s don't do much against the Amiens anyway, so let's just keep an air targets only. Not entirely sure which one shot me there. Yes, it's a 75 he's shooting me with, the cheeky guy.
Kontrolle an Temperaturtruppen. Abteilung Letzen. Temperaturtruppen mit
It's a 75 he's shooting me with.
Volltreffer. Feind brennt und verliert
I
an
might
Fahrt.
actually not be able to sink him.
Direkter Treffer. Feindliches Schiff in Flammen.
I'm not, yep. That's a shame. I was trying to just splash that last, his main gun, just to get crew damage done. Couldn't quite get there. Still sunken. So we take this. Some kind of hostile light there. Looks like a prime target to me. Judging by the MTR burst, it's just going to be under Amiens, isn't it? Should be a hit if I got it correct. Yeah, a bit far, a bit too far actually. I thought he was going to keep his turn, but even then it was a bit short. Well, no, it wasn't short, it was long. Maintaining a cap advantage, though. I think this was the same match where he just got Douglas in the face twice on the VS-10. complaining about these results, that's for sure. Just get this plane down. And yeah, we managed to win that somehow. And I got best squad, so that should be a task done as well. Hopefully. Oh, I need to get teamwork and supporting fire, not best squad. I need best squad for that one, but not for this one. Still got FP on the Schütze. I'm now over halfway done with the Drache. That's nice as well. And that means I kind of don't want to do primary armament target because this thing doesn't take waves too well, I think. On the other hand, I really need to improve my mobility as well. I think mobility goes first. I need to get 2 modifications in notice anyway, so probably I'll get both of them anyways. So, on to the next one. Hopefully a map a little bit better than Illusion. Green Mountain Gulf could be interesting. I will open up the VS10 again to get towards the B point. And then second spawn should control the C point, maybe. Try to.
Alle Mann auf Gefechtsstation. Maschine, äußerste Fahrt
Burner is 3-3, Chicago is 3-3 if I'm not mistaken. I believe that thing is also 3.3. So it should be fine. Uh-huh. Clemson, but it's expected if we're in a 3.3 game. There's the Italian reserve. Yeah, but that's also to be expected. Probably for the better than actually going to the B point, so I can avoid all of those ships. And I might, if I can get to the B point and leave it unscathed, I might actually go to the C, to the A point rather. Let's go all the way out there. Seems we have destroyers that took the 4 spawn, but I think they're all AI, aren't they? They are, okay.
Somebody attack him!
Is it already shooting at me? I don't really have a smoke throw to look at the shells through. He's firing at something, or he's being hit by something.
Ruder, Steuerbord.
Jawohl, Steuerbord, Steuer.
Slowly drift into the capture point. Slowly.
Maschinen, stopp.
And we should be in cover. ahead onto the A point. Okay, those are a lot closer than I thought they would be. But I think I'll still be able to get out of dodge.
Zerstörer. Bruder, Backbord.
Just have to go fast, but the problem I'm going to have is that those two are heading towards the A point. So I'm going to have to fight them at some point. Get into cover. Should be fine.
We're ahead of the enemy.
And now we'll just motor onto the A point and prepare for fighting two destroyers, I guess. Two German destroyers, probably in a squad if I had to guess, but I didn't actually check. Okay, there's these things to hide behind. Are they actually indicated? Are. Good. That's Clemson. I should at least be able to capture the A point before those two destroyers get here.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Bruder, Hart, Backbord.
It is indeed a two-man squad. That's good to know. I do expect some coordination or communication between those two players. So if I ambush one, the other one will be aware of my presence. Those is all the way out there, and it's just going to be an AI ship. It's not too much to worry about.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Bruder, Backbord.
It is a big capture point there, so I can't really force them into close proximity if they don't want to. Let's throw some speculative artillery over there. That guy is not yet aware of me. What I'm going to try and do is that the second guy that I'm currently looking into is past those bricks. I'll try and use his bricks to sneak up on them. Now that does technically make me exposed to anybody else who might be following them. And some arty hits, some minor arty hits. It doesn't seem like anybody is following these two destroyers. Just gonna close it up a bit. And just prepare. I might actually launch a speculative torpedo. Because I can reload them.
Ladensabwehrtruppe! Kritische Drängung, Backbord!
The AI gunners are going to alert them though. Luckily his gunnery isn't the greatest. Be careful about the second guy though, because I've lost sight of him. I am absolutely not getting out of this guy's gun sight by just reversing like this. Forward, forward, forward. Okay, he missed, he missed. We're still good. He didn't miss it. But he is still going straight line. My torpedo might hit him. Might. It'd be best to actually knock them out with a bomber. Can't see my torpedo throw from over here. I get the feeling that my torpedo missed. Actually better for me to focus on defending the B point rather than revenge bombing towards it already captured the A point. So let's do just that, defend what we have. And I'll just seek back to revenge. It is a Clemson, probably an AI one, although that sailing pattern. And let's just drop a bomb right about there. That should be good. And it was. That was indeed an AI Clemson. I could jump into a coastal and just defend the... For a second I thought I was about to see one of the very rare burnout kills with its missile. I didn't see one on the kill feed. I was going to say I could jump into a coastal, but there's nothing I can really do in a coastal that I couldn't do better in this bomber. My team seems to have a firm grasp of the C point, and either I spawn a backup VS-10, which is not going to be optimal to hold B, and neither Schütze or MZ-1 are going to be decent enough to really hold the B point against destroyers. So instead, I'll just rearm and resupply this bomber and fly back out there. Did he get a kill with it? I didn't yet. We're capturing the B point, that's what we want to see. Now hopefully we'll be able to get back in the fight before it's actually over. And we're capturing B, that's good to see. Definitely good to see. And we're decapping A, even better. So this should at least be a victory. Not whether I did much in my VS-10, but oh well. Just nothing more I could really do on this map. Now we'll just try and get back up to altitude and see if we can actually bomb something before the match ends. There is that guy, but yeah, he's got T1 wide. I do wonder how those ship detonations are going to look next update, because they're getting a new little detonation animation. So seeing stuff like that from a distance should look a lot more interesting next update. Can't wait. Can't wait for the next update in general, really. But we'll have to wait. Target, but yep, there it goes, game over. I'm kind of curious what just 2 caps and a victory actually does for VS10 in terms of rewards. About as expected, quite poorly. So you definitely want to try and get a bit more actual combat rather than just caps. But I am making good progress towards the Drache. So it's definitely not going to be something I get today. I am slowly whittling away at the amount of ships I still have left to actually get. Although all the ones coming next update, it's going to add up quite a few more. Slowly but surely, I am going to get all ships. I'm going to first spawn Schütze. And we'll see if I can flank around the sea point a bit. Because I managed to get myself a bit stuck with just a sideline directed to their spawn last time around. And I was on the other side. That's a goal. So this is a 3-7 match at least. SF40 light kind of implies to me that this is 3-7 maximum. Because SF40 light is 2-7. Marne, that is going to be a bit of an issue. Right there, avoid. Probably should have spawned at the other spawn point, really. I know for sure that I cannot deal with Marne. Kind of impressive how the French coastal tree went from interesting but not really that good to a really good coastal tree very, very quickly. I think it was last update where they got all of those tanky ships. And it becomes so much more better. Okay. I'm not gonna complain about all those detonations. I'm getting the hell out of dodge from Marne. There goes one of my some of my equipment. Nothing vital.
Thank you very much.
eliminate those. Luckily this 40 mil at least has good firing angles. Crap. Get out of here. And now I'm going to have to try and deal with him. Yeah. Whilst he'll have to cap, so he can reload and repair faster. Shooting in the flank, not around the air, of course. I don't want to be this aggressive really, I'm not used to this MER spam yet when it comes to actually playing coasters. There's only been something like this week where you've been seeing a lot of MERs to my knowledge. It's really awkward to try and get your gun on target at this kind of close ranges. There we go. Oh, that does mean I should spawn an MZ1. Not the ME410, the MZ1. Thank you very much.
Alle Mann von Bord!
Kind of surprised my 40 mil actually panned the MER when it's that close. Something to remember, although I don't think it would come in handy. Not in the future, at least. In the near future, I should say.
Feind gesichtet.
Where the hell is there an MER? Oh, yeah, the MER can actually spawn with the destroyers as well, which is weird. I don't know how many corvettes I can actually do that. Although it's not like I actually tried doing that with corvettes. Because honestly, why would you really want to do that with a corvette?
Weiter Schlagseite! Und langsamer! Objekt direkt voraus!
Ziel identifiziert. Boot.
Let's see if I can do the same against this S40. Higher.
Schüsse liegen im Ziel! Ziel bekannt!
There we go.
Treffer!
Just have Clemson just sitting there.
Das Feuer liegt deckend!
Shooting a bit high. I want to try and hit the torpedo tubes, but he's overshooting them.
Feind getroffen!
It's already use ammunition somewhere apparently. Let's see if we can just hit the engine, see if at this angle. Steering broadside on, I'm not complaining. This will make it a bit easier for me to sink him. And down we go. The hostile Marne is still out and about. Great to see that Oramia will just leave after one death. Fantastic. There's a Garland in our midst.
Position vorbereiten.
Yeah,
Ziel identifiziert. Gut.
something I can immediately deal with. That is a bigger issue. I really wish I had my computers ready. We'll do this without computers, I guess. And I'll quick assist. That is going to be an issue though. Some ready ammo detonations. And we got ourselves a detonation to 1204 as well. A successful little one. We like to try and bomb that Garland with the friendly torpedo boat right next to that. Can't really do that. So it is being a very good distraction for the Garland's anti-air gunners. And before I could even try and get close, game's over. There goes also another little boost towards Drache. We'll get the H-Eclipse next, because torpedo mode is always the last thing you should research, because it is just the worst modification. And I think, actually, I'm going to cut the stream a little bit shorter than usual. Because really, yeah, these ships are not that interesting. Maybe, actually, what I will do, instead of just continuing playing these ships over and over again, one match of Zeta. See if I can get some missile kills, some anti-air missile kills. It's actually written realistic, though. And then after that, I will end the stream. Because I think at this point everybody's just waiting for the next update, me included. So yeah. Northport is an interesting one to get at 4-7. We'll have to play a little bit passively. And basically just wait for aircraft to appear. A full up tier to 5.7. Now that is spicy. That might make aircraft very rare though. So should kind of make enemy coastal players quite rare. They should be relatively free to capture B point. They don't get blasted by destroyers going through that gap. Just move through here. Don't draw any attention and we'll be fine. Get behind a rock just to keep myself safe. Possibly just move through there, really.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Attention to the designated grid square.
I could also just hide on this capture point, but I'm fairly certain the enemy destroyer will just push into the capture point. And I don't really have the weapons to deal with that. Oh well. That might be an issue. Since he has spawn protection. Okay. We're fine. Yeah, my bridge backs actually turned. And now we'll do the boring bit that is waiting next to my spawn for enemy aircraft to pop up. So I am not contesting the cap in this little ET bit. There's an aircraft up apparently, according to my little radar indicator. Maybe a float plane. Oh, I should have. Speaking of float planes, I might have actually had a good chance of looking over the airport and see if enemy float planes would spawn. But well. I think this should be a safe little spot. Shimakaze seems to be going for the B point. And now we sit here and wait.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
And yeah. Keep an eye on the radar and ideally actually keep an eye out for their coastal spawn. And just have a look at the kill feed, really. I find what usually happens if you're trying to go for anti-air kills is that people will spawn their aircraft either as their third or fourth spawn. So ideally what we're looking for is somebody with a few kills and on 2 or 3 deaths. Bit early for that. This guy looks like a good contender for an aircraft spawn. That's also the Shimakaze on the B point, I believe. You got a cap and a kill, might be a contender for the... I think that's actually not enough for an aircraft spawn naval. There we go. There we go. Now let's do the funny.
Armi antisommergibile. Lanciate!
And the best part about the Satas missiles, they don't have a smoke trail. So they'll never see it coming.
Bersaglio agganciato e monitorato.
Tutto a tribordo. Timone, a mezzanotte. Timone a mezzanotte.
And we'll just keep waiting. I think if this guy sinks like he just did, he might be a good contender for an air spawn. Although he didn't get a cap. Yeah, the Satyrs didn't have no smoke trail. There we go. So press fire. And now we wait. As they have no clue a missile is heading at them. It is the it is the B7. That Shimakaze that was on the B point. And down he goes. If you are a seasoned CAS hater, this is the best of anti-air vehicles.
Bersaglio individuato. Incrociatore leggero.
And this guy we just shot down. Who's another good... This guy looks like a good contender. If he goes down. And who else? This one as well. I'll get some good good aircraft spawns out here. Yeah, naval CAS isn't bad either. I wouldn't... Yeah, I'd agree with that CAS isn't bad on naval. But it's still incredibly funny to shoot a 3.7 aircraft out of the sky with a missile. Especially one as fast and stealthy as this one. And it has radar as well. Not enough to actually get into a plane. We're looking for like this guy, for assists, maybe this guy as well, this guy. No, not that guy.
Motori a 200.
Will we get more aircraft to spawn in?
Motori a resto totale. Timone a mezzanotte. Timone a mezzanotte. Sì, signore. Tutto a bordo.
That might be an aircraft spawn? Maybe? Not sure if 4 assists is enough for an aircraft. It could be.
Most of the zones are under enemy's control.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Allerta collisione.
Maybe. A cap, 2 assists, 2 deaths? That might be an air spawn in the making. Hold on, there's another aircraft up there, he is. See what I said? He's trying to climb to get out of AA range. It's not gonna help.
Armi antisommergibile. Lancio.
For those curious, the missile has 10-kilometer range. And he is within range.
Bersaglio
Oh, there's another one up.
aerostimolante.
Does he realize? Does he realize? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. And Pop K goes as well. Now I do only have one missile remaining, but that's what we have a friendly capture point for. But I will just sit and wait. This guy just got sunk as well. Okay, we might have another air spawn on the horizon. Oh, did you have? Oh, that's sad. Because I think the Burnout is definitely one of the cooler boats to get an air-to-air kill, because those are fire and forget missiles. But yeah, good luck with that quest. Ah, that guy didn't spawn in an aircraft. That guy's not gonna get in an aircraft. Doesn't matter.
Motori tutto a poppa.
Yeah, aircraft spawns are definitely a bit hit or miss really on the quantity.
Motori arresto totale.
I think at the destroyer battle ratings there are definitely higher chances for aircraft spawns at this kind of battle ratings. You just, yeah.
Allerta collisione.
And with how restricted the Burnout is in actually using its missiles. So I can actually use 10-kilometer radar. You don't actually spawn outside of 10 kilometers from me.
Incrociatore leggero. 160. 7000 metri. Bersaglio individuale.
Dude, I just have one.
Incrociatore leggero.
If this guy got sunk, it would be great for me. It's Sharik 8888. If he got sunk, that would be a very, very possible aircraft spawn. Oh, he's in a Prince Eugen though. And by the looks of our team, nobody's going to sink him around the A point. That's not something I should bet on. That guy already spawned an aircraft. This guy hasn't, but if he gets sunk one more time, we might have a good chance. This guy already spawned an aircraft. This guy hasn't. He hasn't been sunk either. I think this might actually be good odds as well. Yeah, if this gearing got sunk, very great odds. No guarantees, but great odds. That guy hasn't been doing too well this match, so no air spawns from him. What? Northampton detonated an Invincible? Okay, this guy just got sunk. This guy just got sunk. Air spawn, please. Please air spawn. Please air spawn. I still have time to missile him if he spawns an aircraft. I have been robbed. He didn't spawn an aircraft.
Incrociatore leggero.
That guy left after the third death. That American guy, maybe? Maybe an air spawn? But it's too late. That's a shame. Because I believe the missiles actually count towards the battle pass task for getting air kills. And just to confirm, it does. So, yeah, this is the easiest way to do this battle pass task. Have Saeta. Now, it doesn't help that Saeta is literally the end of the line for Italy, so it is quite a grind to get to it. But there is always the Douglas option, if you're really desperate to do that challenge. But yeah, that was a nice little break from the German coastals, and I think I am going to end it here for tonight. So next week will hopefully be the update. And if it isn't, more coastals, I guess. Although I might actually just swap to doing something else. I'll see. But yeah, as usual, thank you all for coming to watch. And I'll see you next week.